and one of our fire lieutenants happened to be coming home from a funeral for a retired firefighter. He happened to stop in the area, and he heard the smoke alarms going off, and he went over to investigate and realized there was a fire in the 3-decker on the 2nd floor, I believe. And he was in his dress uniform, which is what we call our Class A uniform, and he went into that building to make sure everybody was out. When he got in there, he realized there was heavy smoke and fire on the 2nd floor, and so he crawled into the 2nd floor, yelling, "Is anybody in here? Is anybody in here?" Meanwhile, he's on the phone trying to call 911. So he was multitasking. So while he was in there, he saw a pair of, it was either 1 or 2 pair of legs in the smoke, and started yelling to him to get down, crawl. So they got down on the floor and they crawled out. Those people probably wouldn't have made it if they stayed in there much longer. Then he went up to the 3rd floor, grabbed all the people from the 3rd floor, and led them to safety. He did a fantastic job, and we commend him for that. The other fire was on Green Farm Road, and as you know, we lost an elderly woman in that fire. The lieutenant involved in that one lives behind the house, and he was actually going to work. He was getting in his car to go to work, and he realized there was a fire behind his house. So he ran down the hill, and as he got to the house, someone came around and said, "They're in the bedroom, they're in the bedroom." So he went around to the back of the house to try and get him out of the house. So he first went to the slider, tried to get in, but he couldn't get in because of the smoke and heat. So he went to the bedroom window, which he opened the bedroom window, and this bedroom window was small. It was maybe about this size. So he was trying to crawl in that window. Apparently the son was trying to get the mother out of the room, and he was telling him, "You gotta get out, you gotta get out." And he said, "My mother's in here." He said, "Bring your mother to the window." He couldn't get his mother to the window. So at that point, he was like half in the window, and he realized the fire started to roll over the son and the mother's head, and he said, "You've got to go, you have to go, you're going to die in here." So the son came to the window and he pulled him out the window. At that point, the fire truck started to arrive, and he went and he grabbed the hose line off of one of the trucks and said, "Follow me, they're in here." And he took the hose line to the back, and he started to play some water into the bedroom off the ceiling to try and cool it down so the guys could get in there and rescue the woman. The two guys, lieutenant and a firefighter, quickly went into the sliding door, and they went into the bedroom, and they found the woman right away, and they pulled her out the front door, which at that time she was alive. These two dealt with tremendous heat to the point where their gear is ruined. It's burnt. The gear did its job, but now it's useless. We did send it back to the company. They're going to test it and figure out what kind of temperatures they dealt with, but it was somewhere between 600 and 800 degrees. So these guys everyone did a fantastic job. Unfortunately, it's a good story along with a bad story. We also lost the elderly man on Brookline Street not too long ago. He passed away after a few days in the hospital. So I have to commend our firefighters, who actually they made a great save on Brookline Street too. They're well trained, they know their job, and it's good for the city of Worcester.
I think it's with the training and I don't know the number of years that you've been serving, but it just kicks in. You just go into that mode. Can you maybe explain that a little bit or expound upon?
Absolutely. We're trained to the point that we know our limitations. Without gear and stuff like that, we can get to a certain point. Like on Hamilton Street, he got to that point and he made those rescues without putting himself in danger. The one on Green Farm Road, he knew he couldn't get into that house without gear. So he had to wait for the companies to arrive with the gear. But the training absolutely helps. If, like on Hamilton Street, he crawled under the smoke, and he told the people that were standing up in that smoke, a couple more breaths, they could have been down, and that would have been it. He told them get down under the smoke, and he led them to safety. When you're in smoke-filled environment, you can't see your hand in front of your face, it is extremely easy to get disoriented. And if you get disoriented, you're lost, and sometimes there's just no way out.
Do you consider their actions heroic?
That's a debate that we always have. If you talk to these guys, they are not heroes. They're simply doing their job. But their actions were heroic. I will go with that. Their actions were definitely heroic.
And as chief, how does it make you feel to know that members of your department are doing things even when they're not working, and they care?
Knowing that they care enough to put their own lives at risk for the safety of the citizens, even when they're off duty, is just phenomenal, and it goes to show the character of the men and women of the Worcester Fire Department, and we care.